Tires are one of the most important things in your bike. It's the only thing that actually connects you to the pavement. So I want to talk today really simply about tire pressures from a very basic point of view, not racing, not drag setup, just your daily cruise, and how to check that, what you might consider. Well, one thing is how to check it is really simple. You just need a standard pressure gauge. It could be like this or just a basic stick, and you put it on the valve of your wheel, which on this case is right behind this brake right now. That's going to give you a read of how much PSI is in there. Now, having the proper PSI in your tires is incredibly important. You're going to notice a big difference between a properly inflated tire and a poorly inflated tire on a motorcycle, even more so than you might on a car, because you only have two of them. Contact patch is really tiny. As a general rule, your front tire is going to be a lower pressure than your rear tire. Now, what pressure runs for your bike, you're going to want to double check that, look it up. But if you didn't know, and you're just going to go out and you're like, hey, I got to go somewhere, I don't got access to the internet, but I want to make sure my tires aren't too underinflated, if I was to guess, your back tire is probably going to be around 36 PSI if you're a sport bike. And then the front tires are usually 2 to 4 PSI below that. So if you have 36 in the back, you're looking at 34 or 32 PSI in the front. So certainly double check that. But if you needed a pressure today, that's one that I'd look at first. For this particular bike, this is a Kawasaki 300EX, and its pressures are actually different than that, in that it is 32 PSI here in the back, and it is 28 in the front. So, like I said, double check for your own specific bike, because the Kawi 300 runs a lower PSI. And the likelihood for that is because it's just a lighter bike in general. Heavier bikes, like your cruisers, it's not uncommon to see higher pressure, for instance like 40 PSI. But in either case, checking your pressure is going to be important before your next ride. One of the things that I notice is when my pressures are getting pretty low, one thing I feel is I feel it in the corners the most. If you ever feel like it's getting squiggly or wormy in a corner, take it back, check the pressures. Because what can happen is the tire is getting so soft if you're getting low pressure that it's the tire that's deflecting rather than your suspension working. And you want your suspension to be working, not your tire squiggling all over the place. But I'll show you how to check it, just real brief, and hope you have a safe ride. So for checking the pressure, you just need to locate your valve on your tire. Usually they have a small cap on them. Take that off. Take your standard gauge, stick it on there, push it, and it pops it out to show you the pressure. We're right at 32, right where it should be.